When we are born, we have a little idea of who we will become. I mean, there may be some people who have that sense when they're really young, but most of us are figuring it out and changing and moving through different parts of our lives, maybe even different careers, vocations, whatever it might be. And then the world will change, and then you'll find yourself in a new place. And that's where we are now. The world has changed. But when we understand that the world has changed, that means something changes within you because we are all consciousness and we are all affected by what's going on within ourselves, but also in the world because everything in our world is energy. And once you start to discover that, you can do all kinds of extraordinary things. Thing that I never imagined is that I would be a person who would live a life that would give me a philosophy that could change the world. And I talked about that earlier, and I even did a video because I had to say, I solved all the problems in my life with this work, and I know anyone else can do it. I only had one left that I didn't do, only one that I know what it is, because I disconnected myself from my worth, so I screwed up my money. Because it didn't make sense to me that I could have done this. So I wasn't going to really look at that. When you disconnect from yourself, that's your abundance. And that's what you're meant to bring into the world. And that's what I have to do now. Nothing in our world is happening accidentally. And everything that has occurred, I knew because Wilhelm gave me that information. And it was uncomfortable almost to go back and look at it and go, wow, I knew this. We all do that because we have the information within us, but we don't always remember it or do it or live up to it. So what I'm doing now is I'm living up to it and I'm putting all the information that Wilhelm has given me into this work. Now, why would it change the world? Because the only difficulty any person has is not understanding who they are, not understanding their unique life path. And I've been able to find that. The most bizarre thing ever is when I started receiving this information, I never paid attention to astrology or dates or numerology or any of those things, except Wilhelm did, because it's all interconnected, everything. And you start understanding that when you think about the quantum sciences and all of that. And that's a field that we don't really understand, but I had to live it because I would receive messages 10, 12 years ago that are appropriate today. And that's exactly what's happened. And if you go through any of the recent messages on my site, Any Advice for Today, you will see that there are several times where I'll go through and Wilhelm guides me to put down messages over a particular date, over years. These are things that we cannot understand because we are thinking only in linear time. But there is another version of time that we can all start to embody, and that is it's all happening right now, which you've heard many, many times. But working with that and understanding how to use it is something that takes a while. But I developed all of it. But what I haven't done is put it all together, and I haven't charged enough. I haven't done all of that. I'm speaking of this because years ago, people were saying you should be charging so much more. And I am always the guy that said, I want to know that it works. And now I know. I'm 74. Every physical thing that had gone on with me is gone. I'm going to start laying them all out because I want you to understand that you can change anything. We each have a unique path that we're meant to follow. Sometimes we will have illnesses or diseases or disabilities even, but that's a purpose behind that. And when we can understand that purpose, because it's something about your unique soul path, then we change. But we're at a place now where everyone's not going to change. So you're going to have to decide if it's going to be you. And when we change, we become who we're meant to be. I held back from this work for so long because I thought people aren't going to understand. They're not going to believe it because I didn't believe it because it was this consciousness thing. And I hid from doing anything that would be spiritual or anything like that. So people aren't going to understand that. And then I discovered that, well, Einstein thought something different and many others. And that's why I got this information because Wilhelm said I was going to bring together science, spirituality, and human potential. And that's what this work is. And I'm going to finish it. And I hope you finish what you're up to as well, because you have a purpose that's meant to be lived now. The energetic changes that are going on is going to call each person to like really look at who you are and just make a decision about the life that you want to have and also the world. But I'm at the age now where I've got to refocus. And I can tell you that you can accomplish anything. You may not come into this work, you may not do my program, but I'm telling you that you can accomplish great things. The only reason you won't is that you won't change your brain. You won't do the things that'll change the thoughts that you've been having that are keeping you stuck, or the how you've built up certain patterns. Now, see, I've done all of those, so I do understand them, and they were challenging to move through, but I did them all. And the most difficult one were my cluster headaches. I was watching a show last night with this guy who was in a competition. He just couldn't function because of these headaches. And I'm thinking, wow, if he knew what I knew, he could like work through this. Because see, I've discovered that I could cure those, even though they were said that they were incurable. Nothing's incurable. It's just our will and what we're willing to do. And I will tell you that you can achieve anything if you're willing to put your mind to it. I started a business in 1988 and didn't know why I was doing. I didn't have any skill, money, or any of that, but I knew I was meant to do it. And so struggled for so long. Then 10 years later, now it was a business that made me so much money. And I thought this is never going to happen. But I was consistent and I kept doing it. And then what I did is I let it go. And I wrote an article about it. I said the day I sold my $1 million business, because the reason I did that is because I discovered that Wilhelm had given me something so much more valuable. I love the singing, I love the coaching and all that, and it taught me so much. But there was something that I had developed out of that that I couldn't explain, that I didn't know, but I knew that I knew what every person could accomplish. I'm not going to get you to believe that, but I do know what you can accomplish because it's all in your consciousness. And so when I found that the work that I received was even connected astrologically, or the astronomy of what was happening in our world, the science, then it made sense. Because, see, mind body healing is about coming into alignment with the energies and your unique life path. And that takes time, but you can figure it out. Many people have done it. I'm saying all of this because I want you to know I'm making great changes and I want you to do that. Please check out my work. You'll see that. I'm doing 2 events. I'm doing a channeling session on the full moon, and then I'm going to do a presentation, because after that, I'm putting all the work that Wilhelm has given me. It will take you through my goal for this, by the way, is I wanted to create something where people wouldn't have to go anywhere else. See, because I can work on everything, because I can go into Wilhelm's work and review. I can go back and listen to videos. I can do all of that, and it changes my brain again, and then I remember. And that's actually what got me to do this, because a few days ago I found one from 3 years ago that I listened to, and I go, wow, I haven't done that yet. And it was in that session. I don't remember the session as they're happening. I only hear them afterward. That's consciousness again. You have a higher consciousness and you access it at times. But now we can all do that a lot more, and that's what I'm doing. So I just wanted to give you this because we're going to have more energetic changes in our world. But if you understand that if you do what you came here to do, you're going to help the changes become so much better. And then your life becomes better as well. And that's what we all want. But I wanted to explain this to you and so many other people who never knew what this work was. And that's why I'm doing the presentation. So you will see. It's when you develop a philosophy, it's challenging to explain to people, especially something that's never been done this way. Because, see, I received information that was energetically aligned, and that's why it worked. But I'll be putting more about that because, again, as this human species that we are, whatever we discover that's new and innovative, we've got to put it out there. And that's what I'm doing. That could be you. You'll probably be the next millionaire because you're going to invent something really brilliant. Thank you for being here. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you at the events. Take care.